Hey Virgo, welcome to June. So Virgo, you have Mars, the planet of action, in your sign this month. So it enters on June 17th. It's going to stay there till April 6th. This is all about advocating for human rights. This is speaking up, advocating. This is about using your head because Virgo's the analyzer versus anger because Mars is considered the god of war in Greek mythology. Using our analytical mind versus anger. Expression. So it's a great time to be writing, okay, to taking some kind of artistic expression. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the communicator. Now, things are going to be a lot lighter for you. Isn't that good news, Virgo? Because for a long time now, you've had a lot of planets across from you in opposition to you in the sign of Pisces. And so anytime we have an opposition, one side wants one thing, one side wants the other. Well, those planets, one of them, Neptune, had been hanging out opposite to you for 14 years. The planet, the great healer, but also the planet of illusion and delusion. So you may not have been able to see clearly. You may not have known exactly what was going on. You're going to start to see more clearly now that those planets are moving into Aries. Saturn, the planet of hardship, restriction, but the planet of long-term success, has been opposite from you for the past 2.5 years. That ended just last month at the end of May. Now you've got a nice trine going on, a positive aspect with Venus, the planet of harmony, diplomacy, the planet that rules relationships and money. Venus is hanging out in the earth sign of Taurus from June 6th till July 4th. So this is going to be a harmonious energy for you. This is a really good thing. Enjoy that. You also have a trine with Uranus, the oh wow planet in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign, so are you, Virgo. So they make a harmonious triangle. So things can show up. Things can show up out of the blue. Love can show up out of the blue. Money can show up out of the blue. This is a good thing. Now, you have a sextile, which is a positive aspect with the planets in Cancer. We have a lot of activity in Cancer this month. We have the Sun moving into Cancer on June 20th through July 22nd. So beautiful, harmonious relationship with the Sun. We have a Cancer new moon on June 20th. We have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, harmony, luck, blessings in the sign of Cancer for the next year. This is a good thing. You also have Mercury, the communicator, in the sign of Cancer until the end of June. So you've got a lot of harmony, harmonious energy, Virgo. Beautiful thing, and I think it's going to be lighter energy for you. Let's see what the cards have to say about that. So let's start with just a couple cards. Oh, this one's already there. Let's use that one. I haven't looked at any of these cards yet. I'm using my new favorite deck, which is this Magical Hours Tarot. And I'm going to give you 2 from there. And we're going to talk about what you need to know here in this month of June. Let's give you a beautiful oracle card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Let's see what you got. So your first card that's showing up is the 4 of Cups. And so there is a cup being handed to you. That is the cup of satisfaction, and it's showing up for you. And you have all these other cups here, almost like the 3 of Cups, which indicates like things are good, but there's newness coming in, okay? And so this isn't a bad thing to see here. Some new satisfaction, emotional satisfaction. If you're looking for love, this is a good time for love with these trines with Venus and with all this Jupiter energy of luck. Well, thing. All right, card number 2. There's the 3 of Cups. So that's what was being referenced down here in this card. And then here we go with the actual 3 of Cups. I like this one. I like that it's teacups. And it looks like they're underwater with all these fish above them. So there's a lot of joy. There's connection. There's people showing up. It feels like an expression of Venus. It feels very harmonious. Let's see what your third card is. And it is the Queen of Wands. And this is a fire queen. We know we have the Sagittarius full moon this month. We know that we have Mars and Leo, so we have some fire energy. And the Queen of Wands is here. She is one fun girl. She wants to go and see and do and live and travel. And so I like these cards. I like that something new is showing up for you. You've got a lot of harmonious relationships going on, and you've got the powerful Queen of Wands. Queens, the cards are non-gender. A queen receives. So there she's receiving fiery, passionate energy. Let's see what your oracle has to say. It's beauty. That's a wonderful thing. Waning gibbous, the beauty card. Pretty sweet cards here, Virgo. Let's see what the little book has to say about this beauty card. Again, this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. And card number 20, which actually we'd call that a 2 in numerology. This says waning gibbous 4, beauty. Beauty is like medicine. It can heal even the most broken spirit. Beauty is everywhere. In nature, just look. Beauty comes in many forms and we can choose to find it. I love how I look. Rid yourself of clutter and what you find disagreeable. I see beauty everywhere and it raises my vibration. It took me a minute. All I saw was the flower. I didn't even notice that those are supposed to be lips and the outline of a woman, the eye. It's very cool. I just think that it's going to be a beautiful month for you. It's got such harmonious energy here for you, Virgo. And I think you've waited a long time for this because those opposition with all those Pisces planets, I think got really exhausting. Got exhausting for everyone, but it was right across from you. So now you're moving into smoother times here. All right. Now, let's roll some dice and get some charms out. I'm going to pull one more card because I like to just make sure that I told you what it is that you need to know. So I'm going to pull one card representing what is it that I absolutely need to tell Virgo today. And it's the Emperor. Okay, it's major arcana. It's a 4. The first card we got was a 4, right? And the Emperor's the boss. The Emperor is in charge. The Emperor has to make big decisions for the empire and he doesn't rush into it, okay? So you're in a power position here with the Emperor. This is Aries energy. We know we have some planets in Aries now, right? We've got Neptune finally after 14 years in Pisces just moved into Aries. Saturn spent 2.5 years in Pisces. These were right across from you. And now they moved into Aries. So I see you're in a power position here. It's a good thing. All right, let's put that over to the side. We're going to let's start working with these little everyday witch minis, and we're going to pull a card for each day of each week here in the month of June. We're calling it 5 weeks, and let's see what you need to know this month of June, week by week. So week 1. The 1st through the 7th, and you have the Hierophant. This is one of my favorite Hierophant versions because I love that it's a yoga teacher because the Hierophant's usually a priest. It's usually a guy, so it's nice to see a woman here. This is card Major Arcana number 5. It's about change, but it's about spiritual connection and connecting higher. And it's also about stability, tradition, value, right? Because you think about the church, people go for all those stability reasons, right? And ritual. And so here's a yoga class, which people can do the same thing with. So strong Major Arcana showing up here, the Hierophant for week 1. Good time to show up in a yoga class. Good time to show up in some kind of theme of spirituality. Week 2, 8th through 14th. Got a little 9 of Wands going on here. This looks a little frazzled. Looks like your nervous system's a little hyped up. Okay, there's a lot going on. Just try to see the beauty in it. Keep it simple. Don't overcommit. You know, Virgo, you often, your sign is about being of service, but it's also that fine line between service and servitude. So please don't overcommit and be able to use the word no so that you can stay calm. Okay. This is Father's Day week, and we've got the 4 of Pentacles. You got a lot of 4s. Now, 4 of Pentacles. So he's sitting there on the treasure chest and it looks like he's locked in the room, but then the window's open over here. So there is an opportunity. You're not stuck. Right? And this is coming up on Father's Day week ahead. And so there's new doors opening for you. On the 22nd through the 28th, we have the Wheel of Fortune, another major. This is your 2nd Major Arcana in the week ahead. And it's landed on the home. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. This is a Sagittarius card, and I love this card. And so this is almost like the Wheel of Fate. We only have so much control and that we have to surrender, okay? But a lot of attention on the home. And with Jupiter moving into the sign of Cancer, I think there is a lot of attention on the home for the next year. Here's the 9 of Swords here on the 29th. So it looks, this is often called the insomnia card. Just making sure you're getting enough rest. That's all. Just making sure these are all thoughts and, you know, a lot of overthinking. She is writing in her journal, which is good for you, but just give some attention to work play balance, okay? Or maybe just work balance, and using the word no a little bit more. All right, let's roll these dice and see what we get. The Sun in Sagittarius in the 6th house, which is your house, Virgo. Oops, I just knocked that over. So the Sun in Sagittarius in the 6th house. So the Sun, visibility. Sagittarius is like travel and questioning things, and Sag wants to go and do. I'm a Sag. We're just like scattered in a million directions, just the way we like it. So there's a lot here pulling you in a lot of different ways, and maybe you're planning a trip. Maybe you're even taking a trip since the Wheel of Fortune came up. In the 6th house, your house, so you have to take care of your health and well-being, right? We don't want to get so burdened that we don't take care of our health. We already see a little bit of exhaustion, and so making sure that this would be like taking a vacation for your health, and not like an active vacation, like a calming vacation. Okay. Sun, Sagittarius, 6th house. And remember, we have the full moon in Sag this month also. Okay. Now let's see. We're going to throw some charms on here. My gigantic bowl of charms. And this is the fun part. Let's have fun with this. Don't take it too seriously. Let's just see what, see if you see any names or initials, all that kind of stuff. Okay, now let me make sure I flipped everything over. Not too many letters here. N, you got the word none, N-U-N. Got the word no, definitely got the word no twice. So you have to use that word a little bit more. Okay. And all right, let's see what we've got. So up at the very top, we have a little horse-drawn carriage right near the Sagittarius sun. So you may be getting out of town. On the second, I think what's this called? An ankh or something? I think it's like a Greek form of protection. On the third, we have, is it Greek or is it Egyptian? I think it might be Egyptian. Okay, it's like a version of the cross, but I don't know too much about it, but I know it's used for protection. So on the second, on the third, we have O. And interesting, this theme of spirituality right there when you have the Hierophant. So it's kind of asking you to connect, make sure you have your spiritual connection in place, your religious beliefs or your version of it, okay? Then O there on the third. On the fifth is the U. On the 6th, the letter N, United Nations. The 10th, you have a circle along with a little teddy bear, okay? So maybe you find some comfort there on Monday the 10th. On the 11th, I'm going to call this dragonfly on the 11th along with a star. So that's a nice thing. Some good energy on the 10th and 11th. On the 13th, you got a little sword here, candlestick, and a quartz crystal. So quartz is an amplifier, and you got a sword. Make sure that you're not, couple things like don't stay up too late on the Friday the 13th, because the candlestick shows like burning the candle, right? And the sword is like, we saw all the 9 of swords and all this overstimulation, and quartz amplifies, so it makes things bigger. So go easy, take care of yourself. Also, don't get into too many arguments or late night arguments, okay? 14th, you got a piece of hematite. Over here on the 16th, you've got a little crescent moon. And the 17th, what do we got here? This is St. Christopher, protect us. And I didn't, I don't know all the Catholic saints and all that. But I do think that he's used for traveling. Is that St. Christopher? And I already got some travel vibes from it. So here on the 17th, we have St. Christopher along with a piece of, I think this might be obsidian, keeping you grounded, okay? 18th, another implication to Mother Mary. The 21st, more hematite. So you got 3 of these black stones. And the black stones I always use to ground. Hematite's, is it hematite? No, I'm thinking shungite. Shungite's the one that's really good for like electromagnetic protection. But you may just want to put some hematite in your pockets, or if you have any black stones at home, staying grounded, okay? Then we have really no activity until we get down here to the bottom, and you have the word Anne, A-N. You have the name Anne, A-N-N. And so this would actually be the first, July 2nd, July 3rd. All right. And then at the bottom, you have a fairy, a piano, and another cross. All right. So not too much activity, more activity at the beginning of the month, a little quieter at the end of the month. I hope you get a chance to rest. Now, I'm going to give you some power days here this month off of what you rolled. So we already can go by the calendar here, but you also rolled the sun, and the sun is the ruling planet, we call it a planet, of the sign Leo. And Leo, the moon's in Leo on the 1st of the month until 11 p.m. Let's see, it goes back into Leo at the end of the month. So Friday, June 27th, the moon enters Leo at 2:05 a.m. It stays there Saturday the 28th and Sunday the 29th until 7:44 a.m. But because you're a Virgo, we continue that power times into the 29th, the 30th, and the 1st until 5:16 p.m. These are power times for you, and you actually rolled Virgo, so I gave you that. And then I'm going to give you some Sagittarius dates. And remember, we have the full moon in Sagittarius. This is power times for you that start on Monday the 9th at 10:56 a.m. Goes through the 10th, where you had activity, goes through the 11th. The full moon peaks at 3:44 a.m. on the 11th, and the moon will stay in Sagittarius until 9:55 p.m. These are power times for you, Virgo. Thanks for joining me.